If you're trying to change your life by changing what you're doing, you could be on the wrong track. Join Deborah Ivanoff, Master Life Coach, as she speaks with her guest, Darel Rutherford, teacher and author of Being the Solution, about what really needs to happen for your life's circumstances to change.
Welcome. Joining me today is Darel Rutherford, author of 13 books on the philosophy of prosperous living. Darel is also a real estate investor, businessman, and life coach to those wanting more success in their lives. Using the success principles he teaches, Darel created and managed a successful business that grew over 29 years to include over 100 employees. As a workshop facilitator, he's been teaching these success principles since 1953. Darel will tell you his mission in life is to transform the world by teaching us how to tap into our God-given power to be the solution to our own problems. For the last 8 years, his Being the Solution workshops have yielded a participant success rate for dramatic transformation of 98%. His latest Being workshop is appropriately named How to Double Your Sales and Prosper in a Down Market. You can go to yoursalesdouble.com to check that out. Darel, thank you for joining me this morning. I'd like to take a step back and actually talk to you about your very first big book, Being the Solution. Why is it that you call the book Being the Solution?
Well, Deborah, I think the most important truth we all need to know about life is that we become what we think about, and then automatically attract who and what belongs in the reality of that way of thinking. When you think about that for a moment, you realize that everything you and I have in our lives, problems and all, are there as a result of who we've chosen to be. And once you've accepted the idea that we become what we think about, you realize that a simple change in the pattern of your thinking changes your reality concept. It also changes who you're being. And with that new being commitment, you'll attract a whole different set of circumstances. Allow yourself to consider possibilities for self-improvement and gain once you've accepted that you actually have the power to create your own reality. Just by changing the pattern of your thinking, you could become healthier, happier, and or richer. In other words, you have the power right now to be the solution to your own worst problem. Does that answer your question, Deborah?
You know, that's a great start. My interest is definitely piqued. Could you help us understand the difference between trying to find a solution to our problems and you talk about making a being choice, being the person who already has the solution? Could you share with us your thoughts on that?
Sure. Well, we've all been taught that if we do it right, if we do this thing right, we'll have what we want and then be the person who we've wanted to be. Unfortunately, do have be is not the creative process for mankind. When you were a crawling baby, you didn't choose to do walking, you chose to be a walker. The doing followed your being commitment. All your life, without realizing it, you've been using be, do, have as your formula for success. And then your parents, your teachers, and the self-help books all taught you that the only true path to success in life was do, have, be. So we go through life, we all go through life, wasting our time seeking doing solutions when the only solution to our problem is a being solution. Now, don't get me wrong. Nothing really happens until you've taken the doing step. But do is the second, not the first step in the process of solving life's problems. You know, most New Year's resolutions are never kept because we commit to do something to solve the problem. We choose to quit smoking, and that's a doing solution for our nicotine addiction. In each such case, when we do that, we would only be a smoker who was temporarily depriving him or herself of a cigarette. So you haven't chosen to be a non-smoker. That's a being choice. You've just chosen to do something. Everything we've ever done in life, realize it or not, was preceded by a being commitment. The solution for your smoking habit or your diet problems or whatever is to choose to be a non-smoker, to choose to be somebody who weighs X amount. Our lives are governed by two principles. The being principle, we become what we think about, and the attraction principle. And that law says that we attract what belongs with that way of thinking. That means we humans have two God-like powers, the power to be and the power to attract. And most of us have assumed that our power is defined as the ability to make things happen. We believe that because we haven't realized that our real power is in being power and the power to attract. You make the right being choice and you automatically attract what you want. I think that's it, Deborah.
Am I right in assuming then, Darel, that that's really where we need to start? So many of us are starting sort of from the wrong end up, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, I noticed that in your book you talk a great deal about the ego. Would you explain the ego's role in our lives?
We all want life to get better, don't we? But only a very few of us will manifest our desire. That's because we humans are actually programmed to resist change. The only way past that success-blocking program would be to rewrite the program that runs your life. In creating mankind, God, as Spirit, put a part of Himself in each of us. Now, the power of God in you is being power. It's the power to choose who you will be. He gave us, with that power, the power to create our own reality. And then He also gave us an ego as a means by which we could experience our chosen reality in a material reality. Unfortunately, the way your ego maintains that reality is to resist any attempt to change in who we're being. And most people fail in any attempt to achieve a quality of life change because they're not aware of that resistance and haven't learned how to deal with it. Everything you want in life that you don't already have is outside the box. In order to have what you want, you must find a way out of the box, and that you'll do that with a new being commitment. In my book, Being the Solution, you learn how to deal with ego's resistance, its resistance to change, in a way that has your ego buying into the new reality. And then it will support you through that change. If you don't get your ego's help, it's going to stop you. Okay, does that answer your question?
It does. Sounds intriguing. It's a little bit of a different bent from some of the other things that we hear sometimes. So it's a different emphasis. I like that. Seems like the book could help me get some skills around handling that part of myself.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you again for joining us, Darel. If people want to find out some more information, where's the best place for them to go?
Well, you probably want to go to our richfits.com website and check out the articles that you'll find there.
Very good. So the website again is richfits, RICHVITS.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good.